Hey guys, it's RodimusPrimal. I am back with another video. And today is, well, it's Transformers Day, September 17th, 2025. The day in which we celebrate the airing of the first episode of the original cartoon, even though the comics did come before and they were showing some of the toys at Toy Fair earlier that year. It's the day that we kind of celebrate the anniversary of Transformers as a whole, 41 years as a franchise. Which is just amazing that the franchise is still going as strong as it is today. Today we're going to take a look at the reveal for Studio Series 86 Soundwave, as well as a fan vote for a brand new Transformers Titan, and another Lego crossover for the Hot Wheels Optimus Prime, or as it as now is, Nemesis Prime. So I've got a lot to talk about, so sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Consider supporting the channel on Patreon, becoming a channel member, or purchase some merch. Links are in the description below. Alright, so before I get into the Transformers news today, I want to just kind of, address like my audience here, try to make things a little bit clearer for everybody because, well, I want to be able to enjoy Transformers with everyone, or at least as much as we possibly can, considering obviously real world events, things are happening. Many of you guys know I am a Bible-believing Christian, and so, I want to express my love and care for plenty of people. Everybody has their different emotions and different feelings on certain, real-world events. I am not going to talk about those things here on the channel, but I am going to express my love and gratitude for you, my audience, who continues to tune in and watch my Transformers content as I continue to make more. Hasbro was kind enough to send me a gift for Transformers Day to talk about, since we have new episodes of Transformers Cyberworld airing. One of the things that they had sent me was the Lego Soundwave, which has a voice recording box, is pretty cool. Probably something I'm going to try and be able to put together. I may do so. I'm not going to probably do it in a live stream, but maybe I'll review it once it's all put together, or put a video of me, assembling it. They also sent me for Transformers Cyberworld the Flip Changers Mirage figure, as well as Scorponok. Now, for the Scorponok figure, I think this is really cool. I'm very happy with the Earthrise figure, but this one in particular is cool because it has some lights and sounds, which is kind of neat. And yeah, this is before they started changing the packaging back to the plastic stuff, in the front. But it is kind of neat. It is a play set for younger audiences, but the Transformers Cyberworld cartoon is a lot of fun, and I do recommend checking it out. So let's get into the Transformers news. First and foremost, let's talk about Hot Wheels Nemesis Prime, the reveal. We already talked about the fact that there are so many Nemesis Prime figures that are coming out this year that it's literally, I'm going to have to go back and revamp and revitalize my Nemesis Prime retrospective, because there's just so much for this particular figure here. Everything from everything from Transformers The Last Night to the Armada figure to the Missing Link figure, and now this Hot Wheels Nemesis Prime. And yeah, it's really cool. The Hot Wheels figure itself actually does transform into a to scale Hot Wheels, truck, but it's a fully transforming Optimus Prime, or at least that was the first one. But now they're doing a Nemesis Prime in the black and teal deco, which I think is very, very cool. If you are a fan of the little to scale Hot Wheels truck. I'm not going to talk about too much of it, from before, but it is something very cool for anybody who is a Hot Wheels fan. The next thing I want to talk to you guys today about is the Battersea fan vote. Basically, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm guessing that there is a power station in England, Battersea. I'm guessing that is what it is, that it transforms into the Battersea station. They are making a Titan based upon that actual station itself, and they're trying to come up with a name for this character. So fans are going to be able to vote on the Autobot Powerplex name, Metroboss, or Turbine Maximus. I kind of like Powerplex, you know, because it kind of screams the name like it is a power station, right? Turbine Maximus, I don't know, like Maximus seems to be like is one of those names where I wish that character, like Fortress Maximus, kind of had that like exclusivity to that name, but that's really a matter of you know, your own opinion. And Metro Boss kind of seems a little weak in my opinion too. So Powerplex I think would be the name that I would go for, but they are also doing some artwork for him. You can see like this is what he transforms into, is this power station, and there is the robot mode. You know, some artwork for posters, for blockies that they're going to do for this thing. I don't know if they're going to come with a full Titan size figure for him, but I'm guessing that is going to be the case for it. It is one of the things I believe Simon Furman himself, you know, is, you know, advertising for this for a brand new character. I do like the idea of adding new Titans to the mix, you know, more than the Titans that we're already familiar with. And last but not least, we are going to take a look at Soundwave and all of the official images of not just him, but the entire wave that he's going to be released with. This is a brand new mold. It is not a retool of the Earthrise or, you know, Siege mold, which we had before. The cassettes that he comes with are brand new, but they are to scale, so they will work with the Studio Series 86 cassettes already, but they're doing something new. And I think this is great, especially for people who want a Soundwave and want him to be a little bit more accurate than the Siege figure or the Earthrise figure was. You know, and getting a good look here at Soundwave as he is right here in robot mode, I think he looks awesome. You know, they've added the, you know, something for his wrists to actually have something to cover, you know, the panels, which, you know, you had to get a third-party kit for the Netflix figure, but this one you won't have to do that. The cassettes are brand new. And the robot mode looks a lot better than it did before. The hands are the same as Studio Series 86 Megatron and Optimus Prime, in which you will be able to pose them. You'll be able to have him point his finger, which means that he'll be able to have full fists and be able to point to touch the button on top of his shoulder to release his cassettes. You can see Ravage is a brand new mold. It is similar to Steeljaw in its construction. It kind of gives that kind of similar face, and it does use a little bit of that parts forming there for the missiles on top of it, which kind of look a little weird. I think that would be better placed elsewhere, but the color scheme on him is better. You know, and I would say the same thing for the cassette of Laserbeak. You know, and looking at all three of the cassettes there, he comes with Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, and Ravage. That's awesome. And like I said, he, you know, having the opening hands and everything, he looks like a much better and well put together figure than he did before. The colors on him look great. It's a little bit plain, I'm not going to lie, and that is because of the cartoon accuracy, which if you are fine with the cartoon accuracy, a lot of people, you know, every time I always mention Toy Hacks, because Toy Hacks and third-party kits that do fill kits and stuff like that, a lot of folks will, you know, buy those kits, and some people are like, I'm happy as he comes. That's fine. You're more welcome to do either or, you know, but for some folks are like, you know, hey, I want to enhance the figure with, you know, something like Toy Hacks, and a lot of folks probably will for Soundwave. Some will just be happy as he is as stock. I like the fact that it's a blue chest, you know, and it's like a translucent blue so that it's clear, but it's still that blue that, you know, he had in the cartoon. And when you put a cassette inside, that it is showing up, you know, on the inside, that is inside his, you know, cassette deck chest. Now, the other thing that I'm really hoping for this figure in the future is that we get Sound Blaster, and it's maybe retooled to be able to hold 2 cassettes on the inside instead of 1, just like Sound Blaster did in the original Sound Blaster toy, which obviously he was in black instead of this blue color scheme. But you know, repaints are always a thing, so maybe we will see Sound Blaster in the future. And getting another look at the cassettes themselves, Here you can see Soundwave in his cassette player mode. Yes, this particular stock image is missing the piece there. I think it's mistransformed. The on-package image that they show is properly transformed so that the cover is there. Laserbeak and Buzzsaw are brand new molds as well. You can see the bird mode is very different than the Siege. I kind of like the head design on the Siege. Actually, no, the Netflix Laserbeak head tooling better, but the bird itself, I think, looks a little bit better as well for this one. So it's like give and take, you know, for all of them. You know, this Ravage is probably the best cassette Ravage that we've had in a while. So, you know, outside of Masterpiece, of course. So, and of course, you know, aftermarket ones. But this, I think, looks pretty good too. And especially for a mainline, you know, Soundwave figure, I think it looks awesome. And again, just to see the actual on-package display of what he looks like here, so that you can see that the cassette player was mistransformed, or it was missing a piece in that particular stock image, and then it has all of the cassettes on there. Yeah, it's kind of funny that they took a screen grab from the YouTube for Soundwave ejecting the cassettes in Transformers the movie, but hey, c'est la vie. Also want to talk about the other Nemesis Prime figure. Yeah, of course, this is Transformers The Last Night. You know, Nemesis Prime with the darker color scheme, the retooled forearms, the red line across the top of his face, and the sword being what it is. You guys know I'm not a movie guy, but just to be able to talk about the movie figures themselves, to see the darker gray, a lot of, you know, Bay fans are going to be happy about this one, especially considering that it is a darker color than the Age of Extinction one. And let's also talk about Alpha Trion. I think Alpha Trion looks great, you know, for Transformers 1. If you are a fan of that film, having a better version of Alpha Trion is always welcome. Me personally, I really want to get that Age of the Primes figure just for that younger Alpha Trion, but this is a pretty cool figure for the movie overall, with the beast mode that he transforms into, getting a good look at that, you know, since that was like a pretty epic scene that happened in the movie. And Arachnid here has no business looking this good. It's a really good looking figure. It's very, very accurate to the movie design, with some subtle differences here and there, you know, obviously for stability and what have you, but I think it looks great. So does her alternate mode, which is kind of like this Cybertronian helicopter, or like, you know, attack helicopter that they've made her transform into with the turbine on the back. It's very different, but I think it works very well. You know, obviously her robot mode itself kind of looks like a spider. That is her whole point, is that she is a helicopter spider robot thing. So, you know, she was inspired by Black Arachnia with a Maleficent style head, but she looked very different in the Transformers 1 film, and I think this one serves it very well. And a lot of people really love the Last Night version of Barricade. I've never been a fan of pretty much any of the live action films, but the robot mode on this one looks decent. The car mode looks fantastic. I'm happy again with my, you know, with the Earthrise one. But again, this is a pretty cool looking figure, especially if you're a fan of this design of Barricade. You know, and that being said, I am very pleased with some of the reveals that we've seen here for Transformers Day. I'm sure we're going to see some more, maybe out of Shockwave or maybe some other things, but I'll talk about them in a future video. I really, really want to get Studio Series 86 Soundwave for sure. I'm still on the hunt for a Studio Series 86 Megatron, and, you know, I've got to save up in order to get the torso section of Devastator, you know, because that's like I want to be able to complete those combiners for sure. But I want to know what you guys think of this Transformers news. Of course, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. I have many more Transformers videos like this, including some retrospectives, some redos and remasters, as well as some new content coming down the pipeline. So stay tuned for all of that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.